we always wonder what are soft skills and how are we going to use them. So it has a lot to do with emotional intelligence, but instead of going into the origins of it, today what we're going to do is see some areas where it can be used. There's a new leader who's been appointed in an organization that has a lot of problems with, employee retention, employee contributions to the, productivity of the different tasks and the projects allocated to them. And then there is a whole bunch of issues, and this leader knows that they've come, almost like a change leader. And now the leader wants to know where each one stands, what is the thinking of everyone, and so that he gathers a sort of a random brainstorming session with a few people, and that are the important leaders, and sits down and talks to them, and he asks them, so let's say that an employee is consistently not contributing, or consistently not showing up to work on time, or is not accountable for the task that they do, and he lists a series of things, and he says, what do we do about them? So some of them says, well, we'll have to give a sort of a consequence, we'll discipline them, or one of them says, hey, we'll have to fire all of them. And then someone else says that they may have a situation happening. He's listening to each one of them, and then he understands the part where he says things could be happening in their life. He says, yeah, that kind of resonates with what I was thinking. But I'd like to add one thing. I feel that irrespective of who's contributing or who is not contributing, I am here to make that change. So therefore, I'm not going to begin by firing everyone, who's not contributing. I'm going to go and find out what is it that's keeping them from not doing that. On the contrary, I'm going to win them with their trust. So a lot of our soft skills is also involved with not just about being poised and not just about, being overly forgiving. That's not what it is. But to use our empathy in understanding a situation. We can easily get rid of a problem by eliminating all the people that are contributing to the problem, but that's only going to have a lot of people leaving, and who of us has not made a mistake that's not fixable? So the leader, on the contrary, finds out the ones that are particularly known for all the delays and the apparently all the allegations of lack of responsibility, lack of accountability, and all of that. He gathers them and forms a sort of a meeting or a point of contact with every one of them, such that he, number one, builds trust among them that he's there to help them, and then he gives them small little tasks that are easy to do, and finds out how is it that they're taking to it, bite-sized tasks, and notices that when they were given smaller chunks and doable chunks, they were doing it. And also when they knew that the person with whom they were interacting trusted in their abilities, they came back doing those tasks. And over a course of time, he also spent time engaging himself and them in conversations that made them feel that they were included. They never felt like they were not involved with the strategies. When he explained the purpose of each strategy and how it requires the cooperation of everyone to help them, he noticed that they were more willing and ready to help him. So our soft skills are not necessarily about whether one can do or cannot do, but when somebody can't do and their contribution is equally important, how are we including them in our tasks? And this is not to say that we completely look aside their misgivings or their inadequacies. This is not to say that, but for the bigger purpose, we need everyone that's already there. Think of the task that's involved in once again hiring an individual to fill that position, and then onboarding them and bringing them up to speed. This is going to take longer. So employee engagement is very important. And it's good that even before we start getting those jobs that we want, we start involving in employee engagement. Thank you, everyone.